to the local transport and how the lockdown is easing as far as that's concerned. And Lilian, you're going to start us off.
Thanks, Chair. Morning. Secretary of State. We know that road traffic levels have already increased to 70% of pre-lockdown levels. Are you concerned that there's a potential for long-term behavioural change as people avoid public transport and choose to drive instead, and actually that we might exceed 100% of pre-lockdown traffic levels?
I do think
quickly.
It's an excellent question. I do think we have to be very conscious of this point. I mean, after all, we are quite literally signalling to people to avoid public transport, which, as I've been saying through this crisis, must make me the first Transport Secretary in history to actively discourage people from using the system that we put so much time and attention into building. And one of the options, it should be said, after walking or cycling, it is indeed to drive, because right now it prevents the overcrowding on the public transport system that we're working so hard to protect. And as you rightly say, that means that the projection this week is hovering around the 70% of previous traffic on the roads levels. Not, I think, as an indication that we're 70% of people travelling again, but rather that there's a transfer from public transport onto the roads. So, of course, it must be a concern that we don't end up bedding in long-term changes of the wrong type in that process. I think the evidence is mixed, and I think there's some very good indications of, for example, a change in travel habits of the right types, cycling, for example, which has seen a massive increase. But yes, you're right to focus on this.
Particularly